So we just went through security here in Edmonton, getting ready to head down for the weekend to the Sportsmith Rehab Conference. Return to play this year. Looks like Rob's put together an amazing event. Some brilliant speakers. Alan Murdoch's back. We have Matt Jordan going down from Calgary. Multiple sessions with Enda King. Theoretical, practical, some exposure to the hip and groin, which I think is going to be brilliant. Romain Turian is back to talk about the foot and ankle. Tim McGrath, the list kind of goes on. So yeah, I think it's going to be a brilliant weekend. Brendan's coming down, so I'm just going to try to link up with him here in the airport and probably grab a bite to eat. Flight's at 8. Quick 3-hour flight down there, and then we'll have some time to kill before Enda's practical tonight on the hip and groin. Link up with some colleagues who are kind of flying in from across North America and from around the world, from Australia, from the UK. Should be a good one. Just landed here in LA. Brendo, how was the flight?
It was good. Yeah, it was great. Easy.
What's the plan now?
To go get some food and some coffee, or else we might not make it to the conference.
Caffeine off to Manhattan Beach. We'll find somewhere to get some food, some time to kill before the practical tonight with Enda, and we'll check into the hotel and get off to the practical.
I had this thought in my brain the other day, but when we do our grand opening, we can get a coffee shop there, and they could do like an ORKA /
With the O? It's a great idea.
Holy.
So we're down here at Manhattan Beach. We just had a bite to eat for lunch at Ocean View Cafe. Some caffeine, get ready for tonight. And we got a bit of time to kill here, so we're gonna walk around, check out the pier, get it checked into the Airbnb, and then get changed up for the practical. Yeah.
It's incredibly multifactorial, and biomechanics matter a lot. It's one of those things that I think a lot of physios get caught up in just trying to strengthen an issue away. And I think when we look at hip and groin pain, especially athletic groin pain, like that's probably not going to solve the problem. Biomechanics are going to play a much larger role.
And I think for me, what's interesting is his comment on if we're not well versed in being able to assess running acceleration, the foot and ankle, we're not comfortable there, we're not going to be looking for that. And that may indeed be where the pathomechanical issue lies that's driving this proximal athletic groin or hip pain for the client. So just because they're coming in with right-sided groin pain doesn't mean that we should omit looking distally at the foot and ankle. It plays a massive role in terms of what's happening up at the hip and the pelvis, and also things that are happening on the other side can actually contribute to the hip and groin pain. So for example, if they've had a previous ACL reconstruction on the left, if they've had a previous high ankle sprain on the left side, that can all contribute to issues over on the right side if they haven't restored their mechanics on the left. So again, like Brendan said, multifactorial. Taking a step back, looking at not just up and down, but also left versus right, and trying to figure out, again, what's the culprit of what's going on and not chasing the victim. We're out here in Inglewood, day 2 of the conference. We got a full day stacked into Kings Talking. We have Matt Jordan from Calgary is going to be on there. Tim McGrath, Keith Barr. It's going to be a big day. We got Andrew here from Range of BC. Plinth Podium alumni. Canadians sticking together. Brenda, what are you looking forward to the most today, dude?
Oh man, I love hearing Enda King speak. I think he does such a great job of making everything feel very, very tangible. So I'm excited to see him. And Matt Jordan, I've read a lot of his research. I've taken his courses. I've never met the guy. So it'll be great to be able to learn a little bit more from him too.
Andrew? What are you
Everything.
Everything. Soak
It's
it up.
all going to be great.
Soak it up.
Yeah.
Love it. Here we go. Okay, we just finished day 2. Had some good talks this morning. We had Enda King give 2 talks. We had Matt Jordan representing Canada come in and talk about some of his new research coming out with especially input from Zach. Brilliant work in terms of kind of clustering some of those university athletes into different buckets in terms of qualities that they have, having some athletes with low explosiveness, low jump height, low power, low stiffness, some athletes with low jump height, low power, increased stiffness, and then taking a look outside of the world-based symmetry and actually just taking a look at whether or not they've actually truly returned to performance, not just sport, and re-entered the bucket that they were in before they got hurt. So some good talks, takeaways from today.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest one. I mean, Matt Jordan stuff is great, super well delivered, and I think just understanding that asymmetry is not the only thing. I see such a large volume of ACLs, and that's just been kind of hammered into us for so long, and even from some of the surgeons too, as to the importance of that. And it's still super important, but I think just recognizing that we have to look past that and understand, really those relative qualities a lot of these athletes are competing in a sport that they're going to be in a position where they're not going to be performing as well if we're sending them back too early and or we're not continuing to work on those qualities even when we do send them back. So yeah, just elevating that standard of where we need to get them to.
Yeah, and then layering onto that, Enda's talks before that, some of his research in the change of direction space also had different clusters of buckets of presentations that you would see. So when they go to cut and they have athletic groin pain, certain positions of the trunk, certain positions of the foot. The interesting thing being that just because they are in those positions, if they're in the bad cluster, doesn't mean they're going to get pain.
Right.
So just accepting the other context, including volume, time of year, different surfaces, turf, things like that, are all important parts of context too when we go into return to sport and making decisions. So great day, looking forward to day 3. We're heading down to Manhattan Beach with a couple Canadian colleagues, meeting up with some colleagues from North America, international from the UK, from Australia. We'll grab some food, have some drinks, network a little bit, and then we'll be back there tomorrow morning for day 3, final day.
Let's go.
Here we go. So we're here at LAX. It's Monday morning. We're just getting ready to head back to Edmonton. So we're gonna take off, fly through Calgary, land in Edmonton around 2:00. Phenomenal day 3 yesterday. Elite level speakers put together again by Rob and the team at Sportsmith. So we had Alan Murdoch talking on his fast to fit approach. We had Brady Green talking on gastric soleus and the calf. Maggie Bryant from the Clippers was talking about patellofemoral pain. We had Romain talking on the foot and ankle complex, high level framework systems, clinical reasoning processes. Overall, phenomenal weekend. Lots that Brendan and I can take back to the team in Calgary and to our athletes in both Edmonton and Calgary. It's very tough to find a conference that's operating at a level that Sportsmith is operating at right now. The quality and level of speakers that they're bringing in, the amount of research that's being pumped out of these facilities and applicable research, I think, that you can bring into the clinic on Monday and actually utilize with your caseload and things like that. It's really hard to compete with. So if anybody doesn't know about Sportsmith, I would highly recommend you take a look at not only their rehab and performance conferences, but also the content that they have online in terms of online courses. There's going to be some nice stuff coming out here on the foot and ankle in terms of dorsiflexion, plantar flexion pathways from Romain, with I think a little bit more in-depth exposure into videos on his approach and his frameworks, but again, allows him to go into a little bit more detail that he can in a 50-60 minute lecture at a symposium. So that should be brilliant. And obviously Al's Fast to Fit approaches on there, and then there's just heaps and heaps of articles from brilliant practitioners outlining how they operate with musculotendinous injuries, everything from early to mid to end stage, just performance-based principles. Definitely a high-level resource for anybody who's looking at it. So again, phenomenal weekend, worth its weight in gold in terms of the investment that you make. Excited to get back to Canada. We got a busy week coming up here with some exciting things happening. Taking back off to the East Coast on Friday with the family. So we'll get back, we'll put a little bit more work in this week, and we'll keep trying to move the needle for our athletes in the Canadian market.